Hello there, this is a Fabled Harpooner, and finally we'll be hunting a different monster this time. We'll be hunting a Gobul for the first time, and as luck has drawn out, it seems that we'll be using a Light Bowgun. Now, I've gone for the full set of Barro armor for the bowgun, as well as the Barro Barrel. Barrel gun. Now, let's see. Any of the weapons are the Light Bowgun should be perfectly fine, really. You have the cross blitz available at this time as well. Pellet shots for the rapid fire. That's flaming, which is good versus the Gobul, I believe, they've changed. And a good assortment of other shots. The only downside that we could complain about with this weapon is its low attack power compared to the other weapons, like bowguns. Nothing much really. Same with the gourd shot. This weapon is a interesting weapon, the looks of it. The main benefit is its fast reload. It's above average, which is the fastest of all the weapons available at this time. It is the fast reloading weapon. Low attack, same as the cross blitz. It does use normal 2 for sure for rapid fire, which is quite good. And as well, what did it? Oh yeah, slicing for team fights where you can assist in cutting off the tail. That's what we like to help with. As well as thunder and freeze. I believe the thunder will be the best elemental option with this Light Bowgun if you use it versus the Gobul, but I believe freeze also does some damage. Not much by comparison, so you might want to skip that particular element. No, that's the other weapon. And most of the basic ammo. None of the crag or cluster shots, which doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Okay. The one I'm using, the Barro Barrel, it's improved with a silencer, mostly to reduce recoil. As you can see, it's reduced to some rather than average. Should help with most of the shots, particularly the pellet ones. Rapid fire. Doesn't have any element attacks, but it does have a good base raw attack. The highest that's available for Light Bowguns at this time. The Royal Torrent has 193, but that's because he has a long barrel. It actually has the same attack power as the Barro Barrel. It's a hard name to pronounce. Easy to read, hard to pronounce. Thanks to this armor set, I've also managed to reduce the deviation to none. This particular Light Bowgun has a deviation to the left and right. It's light, but still annoying when you can't really tell where the shots are going to hit. Plus a defense of +10, which is useful for gunners, since that's pretty much, I believe, like two armor upgrades for each armor piece. We'll check that out later. Yeah, pellet shot rapid, and clusters as well. Will you be using the exhaust as well? So that's handy to have the silencer for that as well. The other weapons, Light Bowguns, the Banded Fires, that's a good choice. It does have a deviation. I can't remember if it's left or right. It's not shown here because I have the skill, but it's one of the two. You don't really need to remove it, but you need to learn how to compensate if you don't. It does have an affinity of 10%, which is a good thing. Can rapid fire 2 different shots, pierce and poison. Good hand, both of them handy. Slicing as well, which is good. No, don't want to equip it. But no element like the Barro gun. But still has crack shots. So again, good option. And finally, the Royal Torrent, which was used against Barroth previously. equipped with a long barrel. You can choose whatever you prefer. Long barrels you get a bit more attack power. Silencer, the main benefit is the reducing recoil, really. Let's see. You have rapid fire water, which is not going to be any good versus the Gobul. Or at least I don't think you really do much damage with it, if any. Oh, but you do have the sub to M1, or 1 and 2. Because the two shots are reversed in the mount compared to the level they are. Well, that's normal actually. So yes, you could use this weapon not for the water shots, but for the sub shots, which I believe still work like pellet shots underwater. It's just that it can only be used underwater, which is better than pellet shots themselves underwater, something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe they improved it, maybe they're not. I might try this weapon at some point underwater, see how the sub shots work, but not now. Well, the water we're not going to check on, it's not running. But the other armor that it uses is still a good option. So basically any of these light bowguns that you have available, not with the gun lands, you can choose from. None is really that much better over the other. If you want to go more for the attack power, or a particular elemental shot, or faster reload, whichever you prefer. These two, the Bandit Fire and the Barro Barrel, will benefit from the precision skill that this armor set has to reduce the deviation. The other three won't, because they don't have any deviation to start with, to begin with. Unless you die and go for temper, then you get a deviation up, so you can use this to reduce it. Anyway, other things from this armor set. You got both defense and attack boosts. Unfortunately, unless you have a talisman of at least +5 or either of these skills, you really can't improve either without causing the other one to lose the other one. If I try to gem in attack jewels, the defense will be lost. I'll get the bonus from it, and vice versa is true. Put in defense, you will lose attack. So, unless you have talismans that can give you one or the other without losing any of the skill, you really can't change this much. You either have to sacrifice one to boost the other, which is not really a good trade-off, because if it boosts attack to 15, it's not much gain to the loss of the defense. Basically, the difference between small and medium is smaller than none and small, if you understood what I said. Precision, well, good for this particular bowgun. Speed gatherer, well, basically because I can't really find any other skill that can fit in here to take advantage of for the bowguns. Gatherer will be useful to gather items after killing the Gobul, basically for minerals or bugs. Now hunger. I'm going to demonstrate how to remove this negative, what's not bonus, but penalty skill. You really only need to gem in one talisman, not more. If you have a talisman, you could just put the talisman on the talisman slot and remove it. Or if you have enough, what's it called? One. You need one, not enough. Just one would be enough. Large monster bones. Yeah. Decorations, 4 decorations. Here you can switch to the actual skill that's going to be affected. Let's see, going back, I need to find hunger, which is the hunger list, dual 1. I wonder if they labelled all these ones dual 1, dual 1, dual 1. Maybe there's 2s at some point. The only 2 I've seen is this one. Antidote, dual 2. But I mean, like these two. It's the steadfast and the standfast. They're both 1, and they affect the same skill, which is stand, just different levels, which is the same as these two. They affect poison at different levels. So why? I don't know. Anyway, let's go for the hungerless one. Now, yes, you can see you need at least 1 monster bone now. You only need 1, really. The other 2 items are easy to acquire: good glow jewels and well done steaks. Especially if you have Cha-Cha with a grill mask, you should easily get some of those. So, if I make one of these, then set it. Now I should have a setting in this. Yeah, I can replace the perception. I'll put the perception for other reason. While I was doing other things, grinding items, I didn't want to just remove one, I wanted to replace it hungerless. And that should be enough to remove the penalty. So yes, as you can see, hunger's gone down to, or up to, depending on what you think of mathematics in negative numbers, to -8, which doesn't trigger any skill, being positive or negative. So basically we stick to these 4. If you can't manage that, it's not really much of a problem for a Light Bowgun to have a bit of hunger. It's just you deplete the maximum stamina faster, but it's not that much for the -10, which just raises hunger. It's barely noticeable. You don't depend on it that much, other than running. And the quest doesn't really last. I don't think it will last that long, especially if we judge from previous events. Like the Barro one, it shouldn't last that long. This is all set, so let's eat. Let's see, we'll get tempered. Let's see. Now I think it's meat and milk that is good for gunners, yes. Any combination of meat and milk items will boost usually gunner related skills, such as sharpshooter, good for normal shots. I won't be using it much though. Bombardier, drag shots. No, I think I have cluster shots, don't I, with this weapon. Tempo, which this is the one I was talking about, increases damage but at the cost of deviation. So if I do get this one now, I will have deviation left and right. That will do much more damage. But if I use the pellet shot, the deviation is not really a factor. Hawkcat, what is kick gesture? Bombardier, crack shots again. Combiner. Yeah, the combiner is good for replenishing your ammo, since you don't need to bring books, you can replenish it. But considering that I'm not really running out of ammo, I have plenty of alternatives when shooting. Damage or sharpshooter? I'm guessing damage because I'll be using mostly pellet. I probably would go for the sharpshooter instead in team fights. Temper. Only temper. So if we check now, while I have this steadiness, I could have reset this to 15, I believe. The steadiness +2, so I could nullify it, but that will be spending some time. As you can see now, it does have left, right, low, I think. Yeah. Leave. It's there. So I think I'll have deviation burst boosted to greater damage. Okay, so let's depart. Already spent a lot of time explaining, talking. Hunter Gobul. Let's see. Guarded forest at night time. Okay. Did I bring a frog? I think I do have a frog in my inventory. If not, we can get one. Oh wait, no, this is the first time, so it's not going to be applicable. First time monsters start in one particular area. Do you discover them for the first time? No, I didn't want Barrowware. And such. Well, I can take these. I don't have that many, so I can take them to stock. So if I go like this and take it should be in 6, yeah. And it's not going to move from 6 until I first fight it. So the frog this time around is not going to be of any use. Where's the... Can't really see this. There. This is the shortcut, the water shortcut, that will take me directly to 6. And there it is. I think it's more interesting in its what's it called? You know, the movies that they make of the thing. At the end we should get it. Let's see. Paint it. Do I have to paint it? Now the only downside I believe from this weapon is, apart from the deviation, is the slow reload. Okay, shield. No, I don't have a shield. That's the heavy bowgun, not the light one. Okay. So I'm going to use the cluster shots first. Okay, now let's switch to something else. Perfect. Maybe... Ooh, wait. That's shadow attack. Okay. I'm going to be trying, if I can. No. Aim for that lantern. So far it's pretty tame, it's not really doing devastating attacks. Just keep away from its area of attack. We'll see how it goes when it enrages. This is dangerous because I can do... Ooh. Chacha managed to get it out of there, that's interesting. Again. I'm not sure if I did that, I flinched it with the pellet shots. And now it's enraged. Okay, the shots are not really going for that. I'm going to get hit by that. Some distance. Now, most Leviathans, the Royal Lordroth, this particular one, and most, the Wolf ones at least, have this charge, which I just saw before. No, I didn't want to reload that. Where they, after the charge, they will turn around and face you. It's particularly interesting skill these monsters have. I'm dealing some damage with this pellet shots in rapid fire, although missing some shots as well. They're not really aiming for anything particular. You have to hope that the shots go for what you want. So if you're aiming for the lantern, have to be careful there, mate. One more hit like that, and you're toast. Whew. Charge is not really helping me here with the healings. You know what? Sonic bombs. Oh, right. You can sonic it out if it's not enraged from underground. I think it only works in water though, not on the surface. So let's keep on using the pellet shot. Okay, it's breathing there. You can distinguish it from normal ones because of the bubbles and the heavy breathing. You can still hurt it, damage it when it's underground like that. I'm not sure if it does a reduced amount of damage. Ooh, was going to bury underground. Might have finished it there. Ah, great. Yeah, one of his most annoying skills. There's only two ways to deal with that. maybe 3. Either destroy the lantern so you can't use it. You will try to use it anyway, but it won't have any effect. Put some distance between you and it. Oh, distance. Or have a skill that makes you immune to it. Which I believe you can only use this stage, the Jaggy arm set. I think it's the Jaggy one. Running low in oxygen. Well, no. Would still last a long while. Don't really need to dive to one of the oxygen well stuff. Probably know about. Usually there were so many before, you just swam through them easily without even trying. Now, if it's like try from before, you won't die instantly when you run out of oxygen, but you will start losing health. Then you'll go into red, and pretty fast actually. Got caught by the water drag. And since I've got these, might as well use them. Now I could have drawn into a reload, but sometimes it's best just to draw without reloading, because you save a few seconds that you might need to move away. Okay, so we're going to an area that has half water, half land, so we might have some land fight. Ooh, that nearly caught me. That was a bit of a cheap shot. Right there at the zone entry. Now usually this is the area it starts in most of the time that you can fish it out from, unless you take too long. Oh yeah, that is one attack you need to avoid at all costs. It's really damaging. I remember it being really damaging. Really? Now, for the lantern, as a bow gunner, it's really easy to aim for it compared to blade masters. Blade masters usually have to rely on pitfall traps to lower the lamp at the height they can hit it, or hope that the hammers manage to get a knockout so it does lower the lamp, at least on land. Water, you can just go for it. Wow, I'm doing really a lot of damage. I might want to change to something else just to destroy the lantern before killing it. Yes, I don't have elemental. Yeah, it's not gonna even bother to fly on there. Right, even caught me at this distance. Okay, let's go for it. Okay, we can switch back to the pellet shot now. So this is what I meant that I don't really need to bring materials for replenishing my ammo, because I've basically only been using the pellet shot set for the first few cluster shots. That's only 3 shots of them. And there you go, objective complete. That was a bit of a boring fight. Just spam the pellet shot and avoid a few of his attacks. It just took a while, and was pretty much making it a bit of a bullet spongy, taking a lot of shots before going down. Let's see what... Oh yeah, I did have temper as well, so... that just made it even shorter. At least the speed gatherer is here, making it easier to collect items, minerals. Let's see, some herbs I suppose. Really, there's no herb here. Herbs. And we don't really need those. I didn't even bother with the slicing weapon because solo is really hard to properly cut off tails for the Light Bowgun. The only reliable way, and it's a bit of an annoying way to do it, is brings any weapon with slice slots, bring extra ammo, as well as some boomerangs, because of course I believe those cut tails. And here we go, the Gobul lantern. That's much rain you get from breaking the lantern. There's this, actually what we have here. Gathering +6. I think I've already have one that's +6. Might have one that's +4. I'll send it to the box and deal with it later. Well, that's been the Fabled Harpooner, hunting the Gobul. Not the most exciting hunt. So, yeah, Gobul life. Yeah, I think it's much more impressive in that video than it is in the intro video that it has here. Okay, here the Fabled Harpooner, signing off. Have a good hunt. See you next time.